Everybody, welcome in. Let's get into part 2 of the vanished episode with Paul Ansell, Nicola Bulley's partner. And with that, let's get into it. Let me say this really quick. The one thing that I do love about this channel, the members, the subs, is the diversity and the fact that everyone is entitled to their own opinion without biting the other person's face off. So, with that, let's continue segment 4 with Paul Ansell, Nicola Bulley's partner, who went missing in Lancashire, England on January 27th, 2023, and her phone and dog were found near the bench.
What do you think might have happened?
We've always tried to keep all options open because we don't want to shut down any avenue. We've always been very careful that we don't want to say, oh, we think it's that, and then push that when it might not be. The most obvious thing, of course, has always been the river. It's always been my gut instinct and her sisters and family that that isn't the case. Extensive searching, is probably well aware has gone on in that river. I mean, they were in there. I have to categorically say I cannot fault the police in any of this. They have been incredible, and the relationship that we have working on this is very, very strong. It's very good. So that this isn't any criticism of them at all. I want to make that clear. But the fact that they were in the divers and underwater rescue team and all that were in that river on the day, and thankfully found absolutely nothing in the part where you would, I guess, have to presume is her last known location. If you take all those things into account, the unlikeliness of it, you would have to sort of say that really the river isn't what happened. And so we always felt that the mobile phone and the harness and everything, it could possibly be a decoy. Again, we don't have evidence.
No, but these are things that you naturally would think about, because the team's call was still active at the time, wasn't it? And the Willow's harness is on the floor, and I'm sure these are things that constantly you're thinking about.
Yeah, of course it is. I mean, the only thing we're bothered about is finding her. There's nothing else matters. That's the only thing that we're bothered about, is just finding her. So, it's of course you're going to be thinking these things. And so the more searching of the river that went on, the more confident we were that it wasn't the river. Especially things like, again, it's not nice talking about it, but at the same time we've taken hope from it. The fact that no item of clothing or anything has been found anywhere where you would have thought something,
something might have been found.
Yeah, and absolutely nothing. So for me personally, and again, this is just my opinion, I'm 100% convinced it's not the river. That's my opinion.
And I suppose the question after that is, what then? And and the difficulty is you allowing your mind to think where she might be and what's happened to her, which is horrible as well, I imagine.
Yeah, it's horrendous, because people don't just vanish into thin air. It's absolutely impossible. So something has happened. Something has happened. Find out what it is. There has to be a way to find out what happened. There has to be. You cannot walk your dog down a river and just vanish into thin air. Something happened that day. Something. Find out what it is. And my plea now is, personally, I want every house, every garage, every outbuilding, the land scrutinised. I want it all searched. I want it all scrutinised. Every piece of it. And you're not going to appease me with anything else. That is what I want to happen. Because for something to have happened there, it's not many. You would only know that area by local people. It's a local area. We've walked down there for years, and I mean years. You see the same faces every single day, and on the very odd occasion when you see somebody that you don't know, they stand out like a sore thumb.
And I think that's an important point to make, because there might be some people watching this thinking, why are you doing this? Why are you talking to us? And the reason you're doing that, I don't want to put words in your mouth, is because you feel that somebody out there knows something, and that's the appeal that you're trying to make. Yeah,
definitely. And I'm just pleading with them, just please, anything, no matter how tiny, just please, just come forward with it, please, because that could be the key to finding her. And as a family, we're not bothered about anything else. Like, there's nothing else. The only thing is we just have to find her.
In my opinion, I totally agree with Paul in this last segment. I still do not understand why they did not tape the scene off and take her phone, because I still believe the phone sitting on that bench is absolutely bizarre. And if it's true that she did park her car at the school and she went down that pathway with no CCTV, did somebody bring the phone and Willow back? I mean, this is actually, talk about vanished. I mean, she just literally vanished into thin air. Like, where is she? At the end of the day, when you really think about it, regardless of where Nicola is and what happened, I truly believe that the police completely botched the scene of where Nicola went missing. And where is the car? Did we look at the car? I mean, just baffling. Absolutely baffling. Let's continue with the final segment of 5.
It's a bit about who Nikki is. Was she ever the sort of person who might go away for a night or leave for a few days? You know what I mean?
It's about as far out of character as you could get. You know, I truly mean that. Like, even as a couple, on the odd occasion, if we ever do have a night away from the girls, because the girls are our world. Like, we go out for meals, the girls come with us.
Our whole family.
Yeah. Everything that we do is the girls are in it. They're involved in it, and that feels right. You know, that's how we love it. We love our little family. We love our world.
And your gorgeous dog Willow's been spending a bit of time with us as well, and it's also that thing that Willow may well have seen.
I know.
To Nikki.
I know, and that's another layer of frustration and hell to it. You know, it's a hellish situation with the layer of hell that not knowing what's happened yet, and then also having Willow, who probably does know what happened, but she can't tell us, can she? And she's a very sensitive dog. I did take her back there first thing on the Saturday.
The next day?
The next day, I took her back there first thing.
How did she react to that then?
Well, I was praying and hoping that once we got to the gate that she would do something different, you know, just to
take you somewhere.
Yeah, just give some sign of some kind. But she, bless her, she just went through the gate like any other normal day and ran into the field and looked at me excited that she was there for a walk. I was saying to her, where's mummy, you know? And she was just looking at me like, you know, let's go for a walk.
There's been a lot of publicity around Nikki's disappearance, isn't there? And I suppose you are one of those stories that is very much talked about on social media at the moment. I don't know whether you've read the stories, the accusations, all the theories that are out there. Does that upset you? Or are you happy that people are talking about and trying to find a solution?
It would be upsetting, of course, if I let myself read it all. Don't get me wrong, I have seen some stuff. Most people have been amazing. Yeah. You know, you're always going to get that 2% of people that, for whatever reason, you know, say and do not very nice things. But I don't want to give any energy to that. Like, my energy is just finding Nikki. I read one that said the police need to look at the partner, and I was sort of like, well, yeah, that's the first thing that they do. Like, of course it is. Yeah. You know, like, I knew that would happen, you know, on the first day.
I said, you expect that, don't you? Yeah.
I expected that. I said to them, do it. and get that out of the way, and then focus on
finding her,
and focus on the rest of it. So that's exactly what we did. You know, it was that was done, ruled out, obviously, and then move on. So, you know, whatever, you know, people want to say, and you know, if that's what they want to think, that's their business. It's not mine.
But I know you've also been struck by the amazing response locally, and you know, just being here for today, everybody's talking about it. Everyone's asking how you are, and the local community, whether they're standing out on the street corner or putting posters up or just asking questions, they are doing an amazing job. Yeah,
it's absolutely incredible. Like, it's heartwarming. It's given us an immense amount of strength, and it's kept that hope so high that we can't thank them enough.
How are you keeping it? Is that the kids? Is that your natural positivity?
It's all of those things. Of course, it's the children, of course. But I am naturally a positive person, and I believe that you get out of life what you put into life, and that's how we are as a family. And so, what we're going through now is like unprecedented hell, but that hope and that positivity in me is stronger than ever, and I'm never ever going to let go. Nikki would never give up on us ever. She wouldn't give up on anybody. And we're not going to ever give up on her. Like, we're going to find her.
We were talking earlier, and you were saying that one of the plans you had was to get married during the pandemic, but you sort of, like many people, you had to abandon those plans. Is that something that you think?
And a lot of you have been leaving comments and why I'm blaming Paul and leave him alone. I'm not blaming anyone. But as of right now, Paul is the one that is in the eye of the public. And I just feel that there's something off with him. Now let's listen to this part when they talk about a marriage and watch the expression on his face.
You know, when she's back, this is what we're doing.
Yeah. I'm far too laid back sometimes for my own good, but also my attitude is, you know, we'll get around to it. It'll be fine. And so we have obviously spoken about, you know, marriage many times before. And then we had the children. When your children are, you know, obviously, you know, little, it's, you know, all time consuming. And then as they were growing up, we always said when they're a bit older, you know, it'd be a nice time to do it, and they can be a part of it. They can, you know, be the bridesmaids and everything. So that was always the plan. And so, you know, it's just now. You know, it's something that we would have obviously, you know, spoken about it and moved forward with again, but and still will.
There is a chance, isn't there, that somehow she might be out there even watching this. If you could say something to her, what would you say to Nikki now?
Just how much I love her, how much us as a family love her and need her, how well thought of, how much her friends love her and need her back, and we're never going to be the same until she is back. Just come home.
Are you going to be okay?
I will, as long as she comes home. But yeah, I have to be okay for the children. But obviously the hope inside me that she's going to come home, that I can't let myself, you know, think of anything else. It isn't an option in my head. We deserve a happy ending to all of this. You know, you can't have this level of support, this level of love and compassion and hope and prayers without getting the reward from that. In my mind, that is impossible. You know, when you think of all the hope and everything that's going out there, it has to come back, and that has to bring her home.
I really appreciate you talking to us. I know it's impossibly difficult. You've described your life at the minute as a living hell. I hope what you said makes a difference as well, and I think everybody watching this will join me in saying that we all hope that Nikki comes home and that she is safe and well, and you can be back together.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul.
And honestly, if somebody doesn't agree with what I'm saying or this, that, or the other thing, I will not go back and forth with you. You are entitled to your opinion, but as far as going back and forth and trying to explain myself in the comments, I just do not have the time or the energy. But with that, it is a wrap. Everyone, thank you for coming in. Please make sure you click that like, the subscribe, and the bell for notifications so you do not miss the next time we drop a video or go live. Everyone, have a good day or good night wherever you are in the world, and stay vigilant. I am out.